Alright, Peace and Greetings YouTubers. So, the Great Xscape Tour, let's jump right into it. Now, as you know, Xscape recently went out on tour, they reunited, and on this tour, it's Xscape, it's Monica, it's Tamar Braxton, I believe Tiny's daughter, Sonique, I think I said her name right, is on the show in June's Diary. And so I went to the DC show. Overall, the show was pretty good. Let me jump into details about everything. I didn't see June's Diary. I don't know if they were there. I got there maybe 10 minutes late. But knowing how concerts normally start, they never start on time anyway, so I'm just assuming that June's Diary wasn't there. Because if they were there, they would have had like a 5 or 10 minute set. I guess they would have just said, sing, lift every voice, and sing, and get off the stage. Like, so I don't think they were there. And so when I came in, Sonique, I hope I'm saying her name right, was wrapping up her set. And so I didn't really get to see a lot of what she had. Now, she seemed to be okay to me. The only thing that sucks about when you're like an opening act, if you're somebody's opening act and they don't let you bring a band on stage and you literally just have the DJ and like 2.5 dancers, it's so hard to win over the crowd, especially if they don't know your music. So I didn't know any of her music, so I was kind of in there like checking work emails and everything while she was performing. But she seemed to, you know, I can see her going somewhere. I just think she'll need better management and everything like that. But I think this was a great way to introduce her to audiences. But yeah, so she was, for what she could do, she was cool. She reminds me of 7th Streeter, but my only issue would be that there's a lot of 7th Streeters out right now. So hopefully they can give her like some new imaging and everything, but I could definitely see her being a force later down the line if she has the right people behind her. So good for her. Tamar Braxton was like the first, I guess, headliner, or the first major act on the show. And so Tamar's set was okay initially. At first I was kind of like, cool, I guess. She opened with like Hot Sugar, and first I was like, okay, like I've seen Tamar, I've never seen her in concert, but I've been to like a few events or award shows where she's performed, and so this is my first time really getting to see her in her element. And so she opened with like Hot Sugar, and I wasn't really crazy over that aspect of it. I was like, okay, cool, I guess, yeah. But to be fair, I was also tired because I was jet lagged because I just got off a plane. But Tamar won me over once she started singing the other songs that really required like her to do like some vocal acrobatics and stuff. Like Tamar actually has a really good voice live. She gets a lot of criticism from like people always saying, oh, she lip syncs, or she's never thorough, or she always is hit and miss. Last night there was no miss. Like vocally she was on it. Like she ate it every time. Like every song she was eating it vocally. I was like, okay, I don't think she was lip syncing. It sounded live to me. And like I said, I'm a Janet fan. I graduated from the school of lip sync, so I usually know when somebody's not singing live. But it sounded like Tamar did all of this live. If any of it was lipped, it must have been like a tiny portion, and I really don't think she lipped. She did an excellent job vocally. She's very personable, too. That's what made me like her, because she's always been somebody, like, Tony has my heart, so it's already hard to be Tony's sister. You know what I mean? And so, and then try to also, like, you know, get out there and not always have to be in the shadow of your sister. But she's very personable, and so she kept telling, like, different stories about her life and stuff like that. She's very funny, by the way, too, so that made it very entertaining. Like, I actually enjoyed her set. It was fun to watch, and so she definitely won me over during the second half. I just thought the opening came off a little weird to me, but I think for her fans, that's what they really like. Like, Hot Sugar was a dope song off the first, or the second album she had. But for some reason, it just didn't, I didn't really care for it as she performed it, but she was great. She was fun. Let me see, what else did I write about Tamar? And she's very polished. Like when it comes to singing, like when it came to the slower songs and everything, where she could sit down and sing, she was very polished. I think maybe I wasn't as crazy over like the opening number with the dancing, just because it came off, just didn't come off. Something was off about it. It was still good. It just wasn't. I don't know. I'll leave it alone. Tamar fans don't be trying to fight me either. But Tamar, she had an excellent portion. My favorite part of her show is, I like when celebrities interact with the audience, and so she had some people pre-selected to come on stage and sing with her. That was the funniest part of the show. Like, when I tell you Tamar is hilarious, like, I was in there dying. So she had like maybe 8 or 9 people on stage, like a guy and a few girls. Oh, and by the way, she has the Patty Pies dude going on tour with her, and I didn't realize he sang that well either, so she randomly brought him out too to come and sing, what's the song? Love and War. But anyway, so all the people that she brought on stage were singing, and it's so funny. Okay, here's the thing about the DMV, like DC, Maryland, Virginia. DC people, for some reason, will not claim people in Virginia. They'll claim Maryland all day. Virginia, not at all. So, you know, she's having them introduce themselves, and so the people are like, oh, you know, I'm from DC, and the girl, you know, the girl, I'm from Baltimore, This girl went in there, she's like, you know, I'm from so-and-so, Virginia. I was was like, dang, y'all are mean. Like, oh my God. Y'all don't gotta do Virginia like that, okay? I used to live there. Let's not. But anyway, and so that was fun. And the funniest part is like, actually passing the mics to these people. Some of the people could sing, some of them were really not that great. And so if they were off key, or if they weren't good, Tamar would snatch that mic back so fast and give it to the next person. And so that was hilarious. Like Tamar she's such an old soul. Like her, definitely, I think people should see that side of her more. I think sometimes she's associated with a lot of negativity sometimes, but I think honestly she is a decent person in my opinion. Like I really enjoyed her set once she really got to sit down. Like when she did like Blind and the My Man song and what else did she sing? She sang a bunch of stuff. If I had a favorite Tamar song, it was Sound of Love off the Love and War album. I always loved that song. She didn't perform it though, but she did perform it on the previous show for her previous tour. But yeah, so Tamar did a good job. If I had a critique, and this isn't about her, this is just the production in general. Whoever was the cameraman, you know how they had the cameras to kind of pan on the big screen so people can see? They either need to get that together or rehearse what they're doing, because for the entire show, they kept going like back and forth, and sometimes the camera would be going up here and down here, and they would get Tamar from these really bad angles. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And then the cameraman would be turning, they forget to pan to the next one. And I'll give them a pass because it's only like the second or third show in the tour, and so they still got some kinks to work out. But whoever was working the cameras, I was like, what y'all doing, man? Just get it together. But Tamar was cool. Monica was next. This was my other critique. There was too much time in between the acts coming on stage. Because, you know, the thing is when you have 3 different acts, if they all have different bands and different backup singers and stuff like that, you got to unplug all that crap and bring out the new stuff. And then, you know, some of them had different staging techniques or different staging little appliances and stuff on the stage. So Tamar's stage was pretty easy. It was like just 2 screens and some stairs, and she sat on the stairs, and that was pretty much it. And then, so they rolled all that off, and then Monica had like her own set of lighting, different from what Xscape was using. So she had her own like special lights, and then she had these other little screens and stuff they rolled in. And so Monica's set took like 25 minutes to bring out. I was in there so tired and everything. I mean, fortunately they had a DJ trying to keep you entertained. But by the time Monica got out there, my energy was already gone. 'Cause like I said, I just got off a plane, so I was like, okay. But Monica came out. First of all, let me just say, Monica understands the business. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that's so polished about when she hits the stage. One, her band was excellent. She even had a brass section, had 2 trumpet players. I said, okay, Monica. Had the band. The backup singers, honestly, if you want to give the award to best vocals of the night for the entire show, period, it would have been for Monica's backup singers. Like, them 3 got it in. Like, the 2 women and the guy, like, all of them could, like, sing everybody under a table. Like, they were so, it was excellent. Like, they got it in. And, of course, Monica was Monica. She was good. She did, you know, a lot of the throwbacks, some of the newer ones. And then she was really making this her show. She had a few wardrobe changes. That was my only other beef. She kept running backstage to change, taking too long. And I was like, come on, you're killing me. I'm tired. But I was trying to be fair because it was like I was already tired at the show, so my energy wasn't right. But Monica, the cool thing about like a Monica show is like Monica's music crosses so many different generations, especially like, you know, so people in like my age demographic really love her because that's what we grew up on. But then like even my parents' demographic still grew up on Monica and liked her. And some of the people who are a little bit younger than me remember the latter half of Monica's career, so it's kind of cool to watch her music span over time. A favorite part I had of the show is she had a part where she asked like the entire audience to like pull out their phones, and I think she did For You I Will. And so it was kind of cool because like literally the entire arena had lit up, and that was like really dope. They kind of did that at when I saw Janet's show too. Like there was a part where I think she went off stage and they wanted an encore and all the people just brought the lights out. That was kind of cool too. But like with Monica, it was really, really dope. Vocally, she was good. I think she was a little off that night. Like she wasn't bad or anything, but I've seen Monica a couple times live. I think she's had better shows vocally, but she's still. The thing about Monica is Monica knows her pocket, so she knows where to go and where not to go. And so I think it's the moments where she had an opportunity to go somewhere, she's like, nah, not tonight. But she still, there's just a poise about her on stage. And mind you, the audience loved it too. The audience loves Monica. Like Monica is like the spokesperson for every down-home girl from around the way. Like they really enjoyed her. And I guess the theme tonight was blonde hair. Like everybody had blonde hair except for Candy and Tamar. I was like, what's up with the blonde hair? But cool, I guess. And so Monica was fun. She has a lot of classics. She did most of like the hits that most people would like. So she did, you know, The Angel of Mine and One of Those Days and Before You Walk Out My Life, which is my favorite Monica song. Not the First Night. She did a lot of you know, the classics, and So Go On. I think the crowd really likes So Go On the most. They like the part where she raps, talking about the kick down the doors, smack your chick. The whole crowd was saying that part. I was like, you bunch of ratchets in here. But if I had one critique of Monica, it would have just been, because it wasn't her show and she only had so much time, I wish she would have spent more time doing her own music. She had a portion where she did like a tribute to Lauryn Hill, and she did like 2 Lauryn songs, and it was cool. But it's like I would have rather just saw Monica do Monica stuff, because Monica has, at this point, Monica can honestly do her own tour. She doesn't need to be on anybody else's because she has a catalog to carry her own. You know, it might not be an arena tour, but she can definitely book some theater venues and have a really successful tour just doing her own thing, being a headliner. And so with her having to share the stage with somebody else, her time is limited. So I was kind of like, dang, you really gonna do all these Lauryn Hill songs though? But Monica was cool. I really like Monica. Something about her just reminds me of my childhood. Like, there's a nostalgia that comes with seeing her, because I just remember where I was, what I was doing, like, when a lot of her songs came out. Anyway, and then Xscape. Whew, goodness. So after Monica performed, we had to wait another 30 minutes for them to build the stage and do all this other stuff and move lights here, and they get a little PowerPoint together in the back, and I was like, damn. Took forever. But when they finally did come out, it was a sight to see. I definitely enjoyed Xscape. First of all, I've never seen Xscape live. I've never even seen any of their members live. Like Candy, I've never seen none of them live before. And so I didn't know what to expect. And honestly, I was a fan of Xscape, but I didn't realize like I wasn't like a big, huge fan. Just because growing up, I was so up under TLC's ass and SWV's and maybe in Vogue's. Like, Xscape was cool, I just was never 100% into them. So I was like, I'm definitely going to go to this show because I just want to see, because I was like, okay, I feel like I'm going to get something special if I go. And so first of all, the first thing I have to give them kudos for is the vocals. Like, literally, all 4 of them got it in vocally. I know people always try to cook Candy, like, oh, Candy can't sing, and you know, because when she gets on them awards shows, like, every man wants a woman. She ain't sound like that last night. Like, she was in good voice. Like, there were nobody missed any notes. Everybody was just like, it was good. You know what I mean? Like, they just got it in. Latasha, that girl, oh my God, like, she's very underrated as a vocalist. Like, when I tell you she finds her pocket and just hits, and her pocket is very dynamic. Like, she can go very high, and she can just sit up there and just pull these notes out of nowhere, and they just come so naturally. I was like, God. And mind you, they're like definitely all pushing 40 at this point. It's not like they're still 22 and 23. You know, your voice gets older over time, but like she sounds so polished and so, like, she aged like fine wine as far as her voice. Like, Latasha got it in. Tiny got it in. Like, Tamika, the other Tamika got it. Like, all of them got it in vocally. It was such a, like, and the thing is, like, their whole catalog is pretty, it's vocally challenging, a lot of their songs, especially when it gets to the Latasha parts. And for her to have that stamina, like, a lot of people's voices would have gave out, but Latasha's just kept going and going, and I'm like, all these different songs they had, if they're fighting, you can't tell. Like, they were very cohesive on stage together. They looked like they got along, so hopefully Candy can stop tripping. They can do that album together. But I really enjoyed Xscape. Like, they got it in. The funniest part to me, I think they had just did Who Can I Run To, and, you know, did all the little sexy stuff. Okay, cool. The next portion, they wanted to go to church, so they did this whole gospel section, and they had these little bodysuits on. They put the little robes on over them and came out and did, like, Is My Living in Vain? And I was like, okay, this is cool, but ain't y'all selling bedroom candy in the hallway out back? So I was kind of cracking up, because, like, Tamika just got to preaching to everybody. I'm like, okay, all right, we deep tonight, all right. But no, they were really good, and their harmonies are so clean. And it's just, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I didn't know what to expect, so the person that I went to the show with, they were like, are you good? Because I was just so, like, calm and just, like, watching. Like, I was really observant with the show. I couldn't even, like, and this is for all 3 acts. I just really, usually at concerts, I'm like, but this one I was so, like, chill, just, like, real observant, especially when Xscape got on stage. But they all sounded really good. Tiny is, like, my favorite member for some reason. Something about her personality is just really dope. Like, I've always liked Candy, but Tiny's personality just makes me love her even more. Like, Tiny is hilarious, by the way. But it was like an excellent show. Visually, it was pretty cool. And normally, I don't like to see concerts in arenas if it's for, like, a really vocal, you know, heavy kind of act. Like, I'd rather see, like, when I go to an arena, I want the arena spectacle. I want the lasers and the pyrotechnics and the dancers and the person jumping off the roof and doing backflips and the water coming and splashing. And that's what I want to go to the arena for. Like, a group like Xscape, I would have rather wanted to see in, like, an amphitheater. Not an amphitheater, that's too big, like a regular theater. But I think what was cool was it's interesting to see how many people came out to support, because pretty much the venue wasn't sold out, but it was real close to being sold out. I would say it was like 95% sold out. All right, so that was like at least 14 or 15,000 people. And I'm like, for a group that hasn't had a hit in 20 years, it's interesting to see the amount of people that came to show support. And it just goes to show, like, music is timeless. And I'll always remember one time, I remember Tiny and T.I. had a show, I think it was a scene years ago, and Tiny's mom was telling her, like, I think y'all can still do it. Y'all can still get out there. People are going to want to see you. And I remember thinking, like, I don't know. It's been a while, because I'm looking at all these other R&B groups that are coming back out. They're not doing good. And so you fast forward, like, almost 10 years. I'm like, well, look at them selling out arenas. And so good for them. It was a great show. Let me see what else I wrote down. They were so much fun to watch. Just very nostalgic to enjoy. Like, my favorite part of the show was when they did "You're My Little Secret." That was always my favorite Xscape song. I remember being in 5th grade when that mess came out, and all the little ratchet kids on the bus used to be talking about that. And we all had it in our little CD players and Walkmans trying to record it off the radio. And at the time, that's when I lived in Italy, there was only one radio station that played R&B music, and they only played it for 1 hour. And so you would hope during that hour that your song would come on. And so folks would be pressed by the radio, waiting for, like, that song to come on, like that song. And I think Usher had just came out. So Usher's Nice and Slow and Xscape's Secret, You're My Little Secret, those were the two songs everybody was always trying to record off the radio. But anyway, excellent show. If I had any critiques for Xscape, my critique is really just the production of the show. Just, they gotta find a faster way to transition between the different acts. It just took too long. They were killing me. And it doesn't help, like, being, I guess, like a Janet fan, and that has had like 8 or 9 tours. Her crew is just so pop, 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 so quick with everything, and so I'm used to that. But that would be my only critique, and that has nothing to really do with Xscape. That's just the people, you know, behind the scenes. But I really hope that they, as a group, can get it together and continue to tour. Like, they're definitely. That's what I was gonna say. Going back to Candy. So people are always saying, you know, the group doesn't need her, but the thing is, I see where she fits in now. Like, she carries the bottom for the group, because the other 3 have such high voices. Her bottom balances out their harmony, and you could really hear it when they're doing like their acapella stuff. It just works perfectly. I don't know how it would sound with the other 3, and I think they'll be fine, but I would rather all 4 of them get together. It's kind of like going to an En Vogue show, and you know, En Vogue has 18 different lineups. Sometimes you get the original 4, sometimes it's just Maxine and Cindy. Well, Maxine ain't been there in a while, but sometimes it's just Terry and Cindy, and then they'll get Rona, or they'll get, you know, it keeps shifting. I remember they had a girl named Amanda in the group one time. There's nothing like the original. And so with Xscape, I'm hoping that they can just work it out, do what they do. But they had a great show. It was so much fun. They have a great catalog of music. Some of the songs I had totally forgot about. When they got to Can't Hang, I was like, hey, I forgot about this. So, excellent show. The crowd I love the crowd. The crowd, this was a totally different crowd than some of the other concerts I've been to. This was a real down-home crowd. They were real deep, real down. It was a lot of fun. So, good job for Xscape. I recommend you see the show. If you're a really big R&B head, R&B fan, this is a great show to see. So much success to them, hopefully. And that's my 2 cents. Share yours if you got to see it.